Kory.
Hey folks, welcome to Motif number 1 day here in downtown Rockport. I am joined by Maureen Aylward as usual. How are you?
Good, how are you, Kory?
Great. The weather is absolutely perfect.
Perfect.
We've already
15 days of rain and we get the best day for Motif number 1 day. It's great.
We lucked out. There's already been a great crowd forming here. The 5K road race and the 1 mile fun run occurred at 9 o'clock this morning, but there's a whole entire art extravaganza going on down here throughout the day. Harvey Park is bustling right now. There's all sorts of vendors, tents, food, beverage, nonprofits are there too, lots of community groups. We're going to be bringing lots of guests your way to explain the A to Z about today's event.
That's
what are you
right.
looking forward to, Mo?
Well, I can tell you right now that the traffic is not bad coming down Broadway at all. And if you're worried about the traffic, just park where the transfer station is. You'll see the sign, 2 Blue Gate Lane or something.
Blue Gate, yep.
Yeah, but it's the transfer station. You can go in there, you can take the trolley down. I think it's $1.50 for seniors. Come on down, it's a beautiful day. It's a glorious day, honestly, to be outside after 15 days of rain. So there's so many things happening. There's Sketch the Motif. Young people can make their own film. There's a muralist on site and the ever-present fun chalk drawings that kids get to do all day long. So.
And there's a scavenger hunt going on. It just started right now.
Yeah.
So we actually can bring on Melanie Waddell. She helps organize this. She's a volunteer here. Grab a seat, Mel. I will set the table for you. We're going to be here for you live on 1623 Studios page and Bridge Cape Band's Facebook page, as well as on Channel 12. So we want to thank our crew for setting this up today, as we hope to bring you much more live event coverage throughout the spring and summer here in and around Cape Ann. Melanie, how are you?
Fantastic.
Great to see you again.
Nice to see you too, Kory.
We're doing videos again.
I know, right? Who knew?
So you couldn't ask for better weather.
It's perfect.
Right?
It's absolutely perfect.
And the skies parted and the sun came out. And
it did. It was cool for the race, and now the sunshine for the drink and festivities and music.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward today?
Everything. I mean, we have wonderful music, awesome food. The kids are down in the Maker's Tent in Dock Square doing lots of art projects. They're doing poetry and painting, and there's murals, and there's going to be a chalk pit over here with a chalk artist.
Yeah. In the chalk pit. That works.
Oh, and Cape Ann Vernal Pond team is here with all their snakes.
We're going to have them on a little later.
Oh, that's going to
We're going to wrap one around Mo a couple times, see how she handles it.
I like snakes, I can do it.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, we have the scavenger hunt. We have 10 rocks hidden around in 10 different businesses.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So what do people have to do to be part of the scavenger hunt?
Well, we have forms that are down in the Dock Square Maker's Tent, and you can pick up a form, and there's little riddles, and you figure out the riddle, and you go to the business, and there's a rock in the window or in their somewhere in their frontage, and you write down the number, and then figure it out, put your name and number on there, and we'll pick a winner after everybody's turned in their forms.
Very cool. Now, you're one of the volunteers here.
I am.
There's dozens of volunteers, right?
Yes,
And
there
how
is.
long has everyone been working on putting this day together?
Well, it's been a couple months. We spent probably a good 4 or 5 months putting it together. Really? This is so many components as far as gathering vendors and figuring out what the schedule is going to be and who's going to be where. But yeah, I've been promoting it. I help with the Instagram and Facebook, so I've been promoting for a good solid 3 months.
I know.
Yeah. It's a real institution here in Rockport.
It is.
May Motif number 1 day.
It is.
How did you get this whole thing kicked off again?
Well, I've been involved for the last couple of years, so as far as going back on the solid history, I don't know, but I know it's a good partnership between the wellness team at the Rockport Elementary School,
Right.
and they do the 5K, and then the Rockport Exchange, which is a nonprofit, which I'm a volunteer for. They help put on the festival part of it. So
I actually think Motif 1 day began decades ago, like 60, 70 years ago, and then things sort of quieted down. But then it was revitalized and revamped and expanded, and it's been really successful. So, so we're looking forward to it. And like Maureen just said, the skies parted.
The skies parted.
Like, what were the odds of the weather actually working
and
out?
last year it was a pretty cold and dreary day, and I wore my raincoat and a sweatshirt, and so we're really excited for the good weather. So come down, come join us. It's going to be a great afternoon.
So activities are happening in Dock Square.
Yes.
T Wharf.
Yes.
Where else?
And right here in Harvey Park is where most of the action is, and right at the bottom of Mount Pleasant, I believe it's Mount Pleasant.
Yep, Mount Pleasant, yep.
Yeah, and there's lots of different nonprofit organizations. If you want to see what the good work they're doing, and if you want to get involved, you can come and speak directly to them. We have the Cape Ann license plate representing right behind us.
Chambers over here, that's Ken
Chambers,
Real,
yeah,
Peter
right
Weber's
next to
over
us.
there, yeah.
And last night we had the Rockport Foodways Map that was launched, and actually the Rockport Exchange was a recipient of a grant from the Cape Ann Community Foundation, which the proceeds to the sale of the Cape Ann license plate. So we received a grant to make this Foodways Map, and it features all different local Rockport makers of food.
That's
the
great.
Fudgery, Brothers Brew.
Yeah,
Those are available here too, down in the Maker's Tent. You can come check out the map.
Right, and from my understanding, so that's through the Cape Ann Community Foundation,
Yes.
through the Chamber, and the
Yes.
Cape Ann License Plate Drive, which the Chamber's promoting.
Yes.
I think it's just $40
Yes.
on top of the regular registration
Yeah.
fee to get one of those Cape Ann license plates, and that money goes right back into
Goes right
community
back,
causes.
and
like
right
this.
back into the community.
So we're really excited that they're here and that we were able to do that project as well.
So Melanie, I wanted to ask you about the pet parade that's happening at 1 o'clock. That's on Bearskin Neck. What's that all about? We see a lot of dogs.
I've judged it before.
I haven't seen no
It's Good
cats.
Dog, I think Good Dog
Good
does
Dog
this,
Gallery.
right?
Yeah,
Good Dog
is it just
Gallery.
dogs or like cats?
I think it's just dogs.
Foxes? A lot of foxes. There's
a lot around.
I don't know if you've
Coyotes.
seen them, but mainly the fox seems to be having a fun time running through Rockport these days.
We had a fox in our backyard the other day.
Yeah, and
so.
I've had one in my backyard. I saw him this morning.
But just dogs
That is
today.
classic Rockport talk right there. There's a fox in my yard. Oh my God. Send up the flags. Yeah.
We love the fox.
No, but I think the pet parade, they just walk around, they do a loop down the end of Bearskin Neck
Yes.
and come back.
And
There's
some
cute
come in
ones.
costume.
Yeah,
And
right.
So, and then also at 11:30, the Rockport Dance Academy is going to be doing a performance right down here in Duxbury as well. So that's coming up shortly.
Yeah, and we can hear what time is it, Mr. Fox, who's
Yes.
on now. So come on down. How long are they going to be on for?
They're on from 11 to 1, and then from 1 to 3 is Alec Rasden and the A-Train Orchestra.
Ooh, fantastic.
Yes.
Rockport,
Yes.
from Rockport,
And then
Rockport
from
High School.
3 to 5 is Headlands, everybody's favorite band.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Yeah.
Headlands is great with John Rockwell and Amy Rich, and I'm forgetting the other person's name.
John Rockwell, and I am as well. Yes.
The family will
It's the
notify us. It's
camera.
fine. It's fine. Well, thanks, Mel,
Eric.
for giving us the A to Z on today's event.
Thank
Hope for a
you.
great turnout.
Yes.
If you're thinking about swinging by, don't let the parking situation deter you. There's actually trolley service at 2 Blue Gate Lane.
The transfer
You
station.
can take that transfer station, take that trolley down too. But there's still plenty of spots open. We got here pretty easily. And it's
Trolley's on a continuous loop, so you can
Right.
get up there, you can park for free and take the trolley for $1.
Yeah.
We'll drop you off right here.
Yeah,
and
it's
if
a
not-
wonderful thing to have, and the trolley is really fun. So being on the Rockport trolley, it's great.
We go for a ride sometimes just to go.
Yeah. So
Thanks, Mel.
Thank
Melanie,
you.
say hi to your dad, Jim Waddell.
Oh, hey, how about that? I will.
He's a favorite of mine.
Oh, thank you.
So
He's a good guy.
He is totally
Yeah, he
great.
was down here earlier to watch us run the
Was it?
races.
Oh yeah,
so-
I thought I saw him.
Yep, he was.
Yeah.
All right, I will. Thank you.
Thanks, Melanie.
All right, come
Thanks
down
for
to
having us too.
Yes. Thanks
Thanks
for
for
being here.
including
Come
us
on
in
down
your
to
day.
Motif number 1.
Beautiful.
All right, take care.
Bye, Melanie.
Thank you, Melanie. Melanie Waddell, she's one of the volunteers here and works with the Rockport Exchange and the town of Rockport. We are here at Motif one day in downtown Rock. We'll be here till about 12 o'clock or so. This event's going on all afternoon long, so come on down, completely family friendly. You've got food and drink. It's a big art extravaganza, like Melanie just said. A scavenger hunt's going on right now. I believe there's yogas going on right now. There'll be a magic act. We're gonna actually have a magician and mentalist with us shortly.
His name is Kam Diaz.
From Rockport High School, who just, I believe, is auditioning for America's Got Talent. So that's impressive. So we might have him do a thing or two.
Yeah, I'm worried about he's going to read my mind.
Yeah. Do we want to bring Mitch in?
Mitch, come on.
Mitch Viera, ladies and gentlemen.
So welcome, Mitch
Good to see you,
Viera,
Mitch.
Good to see you
Town
both.
Administrator of Rockport.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's a beautiful day today. Perfect to be out here.
Unbelievable.
So Mitch, tell me about what Motif Number 1 Day means to the town of Rockport.
Oh, it means so much. There are certain events that just have this really deep meaning in town, and this is one of them. It's for the community. It is the community. It's truly wonderful. We couldn't ask for a better day and a better event and a better group of people who are managing it. The exchange has been absolutely wonderful. They always are.
Rockport is such an easy place to host events. Everything's so compact.
Yes.
You can walk around and meet and be in different streets or whatever, but still never leave the actual
Right.
event itself. You know, it's a nice campus, if you will. And that's why I just love the Rockport Festival. It's a Harvest Fest, Motif Number 1 Day. They're beautiful events. Even the Maker's Day.
That's right.
Rockport New Year's Eve too.
Yes.
You know, all of these events
Wonderful. Yeah.
that
they're all
allow us, folks who come down and they get to walk around. So
They do, and we partner with Mbta to run the park and ride up on Blue Gate Lane, so you don't even have to worry about trying to hunt and find a space down here. You go up, you park for free. It's $1 each way on the trolley. What more could you ask for?
Right, that's perfect.
That's really excellent for us.
So what are some of the events that you're looking forward to today, or some of the features?
You know, I always love the food. I'm a foodie at heart, so that's always one of my favorite things.
The first week we went to, Mitch, with a Copper Dome Pizza guy's like, why don't you stop by around 11:30 or so?
we saw them try to back in, and we're like, oh, what's going on over there?
Yes.
Well, let's get them to come over. Bring
Tuks
some
absolutely.
pizza.
is here. There's Arrowhead Farms is here. There's a lot of great
Right,
choices.
and there's the food and beer tent. There's also local wine, so it's a real local event too.
It is, and that's again one of the really nice touches. It's very Cape Ann centric, and that's really important to us. And I'm glad that we can continue to do that. But I cannot say enough good things about the Exchange and the work that they've done with us. They're a wonderful partner with the town.
Is your little one here today?
She'll be down shortly.
Oh, that's
She'll be
good.
down shortly. Yeah, she's having it's her nap time now. So when she
She'll be
finishes,
in the chalk pit.
That's,
Having her first taste of she's a baby.
She is. She's 5 months old, so she'll be just taking in the sights. She loves a lot of activity, so she'll enjoy it.
Yeah. So you're town administrator for how many years now?
So I was.
Interim town manager.
So I was the interim until 2 weeks ago, and the board appointed me to the permanent position.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Mitch. That's
Thank you.
exciting
Yes,
to hear that.
it is very exciting.
Yeah.
I was the interim for probably 14 months, and I was the assistant town administrator for 6.5 years before that. So, been with the town for a long time, and wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Wonderful.
What's on the docket for Rockport now after this event happens? Any big things coming our way?
Sure. So, gearing up for the summer season. That in itself is a long-term production as we go through the year. The huge influx of people. A lot of good things that come along. Probably too numerous to name as we start to go into the season. There's something happening every weekend. I think after this, the next thing would probably be 4th of July as a big event, the parade, and everything that goes along with that. And then
Cutest little 4th of July parade ever.
it is. Our Firemen's Association does such a great job.
It's awesome.
It's that
It
true
is.
hometown feeling.
It is. Yeah. So what are some of the challenges that you have going into the summer season? Some things that you're preparing for? Is it like public safety a lot, or is it working closely with the police department, parking, or?
Parking is always one of those challenges. It's an imperfect science. We always do our best. The police department does a phenomenal job managing our traffic and parking program. As you can see behind you, we've got 3 of our officers here now, traffic control. It's a working process, but it'll always be a challenge. We can't make any more spaces. We'd love to, but we can't, which is why our antidote to that is using the great park and ride, using that perfect service, and that would just avoid the headache.
How about the relationship with the Mbta? So it's
Just gonna
$10,
ask. People are asking
right?
us now. Yeah.
So it's $10 on the weekends,
Mhm.
the whole 2 days of the weekend.
Yep.
So they can take the train to Rockport from Gloucester even, but all the way from Boston. How is that? How is the town's relationship with the Mbta and Keolis and bringing the trains up? Do you have?
So we have, I would say, fairly regular interaction with them. There's some things we'd like to be a bit better. We'd love the idling to not happen overnight. But service-wise, we're thrilled with the $10 program. We think that's a huge piece for us to be able to get folks to come up here and not have to worry about the cost, because a regular ticket during the week it's pricey. It's pricey. So
Do you see an economic boost? Have the businesses around reported more of a boost since the $10 ticket on the weekend?
So I would say we're still evaluating that. It's still fairly new. So I would say this summer will really be that benchmark for us. This will be setting the benchmark. But it's any time we can make it cheaper for people to get here, it's always a good thing.
Right.
Always a good thing.
Well, so far, tourism season started a little early this year, despite the weather. But it seems like there's been strong turnout already. I've talked to a lot of the retailers around here. They seem happy so far. And now, typical New England fashion, rain for 6 weeks when it's 45 degrees, and then you get a couple days like this, everything's green, and here comes summer.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, this is what we live for, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
This is the happy time for everybody, and
Yep. It is.
so this is a family event. It's a great family event. It's one of the best on Cape Ann. It's a great day to just come down and get some food and have some drink and bring the kids. And
Agreed. And you can be here all day.
most
and
things are free. All the activities are free.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And there's great options. All of our shops are open, and we hope that folks after they go through Harvey Park and food and everything like that, that they take the trip over to Bearskin Neck and up Main Street. All of our shops are open, and
Right.
a lot of fantastic things for sale, and nice browsing, nice food. So,
And it's a beach day, so head down to Front Beach.
you know, I would say if you don't mind the water being a little bit chilly, it's a beautiful day to sit out there and enjoy today.
Is that a dare?
It was a little too cold for me. A little too cold.
The high tide today, last night was really high, but
Yes.
who cares? Like, put your feet in the water.
Well, that's
it's
it.
time.
Yeah, get your feet in. It's that first step in for the season.
Yeah.
So we hope folks come down and enjoy it. And that's it. Once you use that park and ride, come on down. You're here for the day. Just come and enjoy.
Great.
It's a perfect day.
Awesome. Well, Mitch Viera, Town Administrator for Rockport, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah,
and
congratulations.
sharing some time with us.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we'll see you soon.
Yes.
And if people want to learn more about what's happening with Rockport, how can they do that, online or off?
So they can certainly check out our website, rockportma.gov. We also have a strong presence on social media. Rockport Town Administrator page is at Rockport TA. We're also same handle on Twitter. We try to push out some great information, and our Public Works Department and Police Department also have a social media presence.
Right.
So we would say like those pages, follow those pages. All great ways to get some good info from us.
Perfect. Beautifully put. Okay, thanks for
Excellent.
spending some
Mitch.
time, Mitch.
Thank you both.
All
See
right,
you
we'll
soon.
See you. Have fun.
So Mitch Viera, he is a town administrator, the newly crowned town
I
administrator
know.
for the town of Rockport, sharing some time with us, which was great. We're here at Motif #1 day. If you want to spend some time with us, pop on by. We're in Barletta Park here with the orange furniture. This is Maureen Aylward. I'm Kory Curcuru here for 1623 Studios, and we are hoping to bring you more live event coverage throughout the spring and summer here in and around Cape Ann. And what we're doing right now is actually broadcasting live on local cable channel 12 as well as Facebook. So thanks for joining us. So we are ready for our next guest.
We're ready for the next guest, and the trolley is coming by right now. Don't forget, you can park at the transfer station. Rick Roth.
Maureen and Kory, I had no idea.
Now
you
we're
were
Rick
gonna
Roth
be
from the
here.
Cape Ann Vernal Pond team.
So important.
What a
to the
draw.
work that you're
You're a
doing.
draw for these events, Rick.
Yeah.
I'm not a draw.
Yes, you are.
The animals I bring are a draw.
That's true.
And you'll find, are you trying to point that at
I
me
am.
for some
I'm
reason?
pointing that
yes,
at you
yes,
because
I
you're gonna
see that.
speak into
yes.
that,
And
just-
the lady
just to
back
let you
there
know.
who's doing the punching the buttons and everything.
Do you
so
have a
anyway,
little friend?
Do you have a
here?
license for that
I
knapsack?
brought a pillowcase
Yeah.
because I thought I might need a nap. But I think what I'll do instead is just open it and
Oh,
see
boy.
if there's anything in here.
You made a request.
Yeah, to the
Yeah.
beer tent.
There's a beer tent?
Oh.
All right.
Now we're talking.
So this is the Taiwanese Ratsnake.
Hello.
Now, what's prettier than that when you think about it?
Gorgeous.
Now, this one's a little edgy, so you don't want to get near his mouth.
Okay.
But
Oh, okay.
but he is totally and completely cool. This
Beautiful.
is a tropical Asian snake that you just gotta love. You know. So anyway, we brought a whole bunch of snakes here. We're doing 2 exhibits today. One of them is vernal pools, and we have a whole bunch of vernal pool critters there: frogs, salamanders, snakes, and turtles. And then we also have our Snakes of New England in a World exhibit with a whole bunch of native New England snakes, and then a whole bunch of other snakes from all around the world. So
Hello.
as it turns out, a lot of people really like snakes, and especially if they get a positive introduction and they're not being chased down the street by their brother or something like
Yes,
that.
yes.
You know. So,
Now, Rick, can you explain just momentarily the mission of the Cape Ann Vernal Pond team?
well, basically, what our mission is to try and protect that particular habitat called a vernal pond. They're small wetlands, they're temporary wetlands, and the whole point of that is that there's no fish. Fish are major predators. So once they get in there, they're going to eat up a lot of eggs and larvae and all kinds of little bugs and crawlies in there and swimmies and stuff like that. So if there's no fish, that means a lot of species of salamanders and frogs and insects and all kinds of other stuff that's down there. Oh, I thought that was a snake. It's
Yeah,
the microphone,
it's the microphone.
cord. But anyway, they're down there and they can, the cumulative effect of these vernal pools feeds more forest wildlife than any other kind of wetland. So they're actually extremely important to the ecology. And the way I figure it, if you can save wildlife habitat, you're helping to save the planet, because all those trees and plants out there are making oxygen that we're using up all the time. So it's really good stuff.
And we have one on the stretch. We have a vernal
we have
pond on the
a
stretch.
cluster of 9 of them
Yeah.
right on the Nugent stretch where the signs are.
Oh.
Yes.
Right. So how was it successful? I mean, I know that you monitor the vernal ponds around Cape Ann.
Well, it's here's the thing. The snowplow guy got a bunch of stuff built up in front of his plow, and so he shoved it all into one of the vernal pools, and a few people noticed it and said, we wish you wouldn't do that. And it's mass highways is the people who do that, who plow it. So we just said, hey, let's just put up some signs and tell your guys not to push gravel and stuff into the pools. And so far it seems to have worked.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
It's great.
And you take part in a lot of these community events all the time, not only to show off,
Yes,
but to educate too. And it's
absolutely. It's amazing. This is one of the most misunderstood animals on the planet right here.
A snake.
And so just anything you can say about them that's not what your neighbor said is usually beneficial to most people. And you'll find that
They're beautiful. They really are beautiful.
I've been keeping snakes for 61 years.
Yeah.
I've caught thousands and thousands of snakes in the wild. I've never been chased by a snake. I've never been bitten by one I didn't pick up.
Yeah.
So, you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone.
and this
so
is just. I'm sorry.
The Cape Ann Vernal Pond team has a booth over at Harvey Park.
It's over there.
And you over there,
It's right over there.
that way.
Yeah.
And you have a lot more snakes. You've got an exhibit over there that's happening.
We got frogs, salamanders, turtles, so come down and see us. We're
Great.
having fun.
Rick Roth, thanks for joining us.
Thanks
here
so
at
much.
Motif
Nice
number
to
one
see
day.
you both again.
Oh,
Great to
always.
see you.
All right.
Thanks for stopping by. And I do know
Yeah,
that.
bring your friend with you, please.
So we've got some other folks coming in from iArtColony, and also Kam Diaz is in the wings. And iArtColony, come on.
If you're just tuning in, we're covering Motif number 1 day here in downtown Rockport. It's going on throughout the day, so come on down, bring the kids. It should be a fun one.
So with
morning.
us right now is Gianna Stewart and Jill Whitney Armstrong from iArtColony. And the iArtColony gallery is on Broadway as you're coming down to the festival today. So Gianna, thanks so much for being on, and Jill, welcome.
Thank you very much for having
So
us.
Gianna, you brought something with you. Can you tell us a little bit about this this ongoing project that you've got?
Sure.
To speak right into the
The
microphone.
project is Motif Zero, and it is based on this historical project that happened in 1933. The town came together of Rockport, right, and made this replica of the motif, drove it to the World's Fair. It won first prize, standing ovation,
Really?
and really put the motif on the map. So the idea is to make a 21st century sort of version of that. And I want it to be translucent. I want you to be able to go inside of it, and it to be sort of a performance venue that can be activated by other artists and members of the community.
That's a wild idea.
Yeah.
The
That's a
floor is
concept.
going to be mirrored, the ceiling is going to be mirrored. So when you're inside, you have this sort of feeling of infinite. And that's why one of the reasons why she called it Motif Zero.
We want it to glow and be a beacon.
Right.
Beacon of hope.
Yes.
Right. So when is this project going to take off, and what's involved in creating a larger version of this?
Yeah. The goal is 2020. We want to drive it to a modern day spectacle. So Art Basel Miami is the goal at the end of 2020. In the meantime, we're partnering with the Rockport Exchange to get the project off the ground. Today we're interviewing local folks, their stories and memories about the motif as we're seeing ourselves in the research stage of the project.
Great. And how is iArtColony involved in this, Jill?
Well, we heard of the story of Aldro Hibbard back in 1933 and really wanted to recreate what he did, but in a modern 21st century. And we found Gianna Stewart, who is a Boston artist, public art artist, and she's brilliant and phenomenal. So we asked her to work with us and make it happen. So
We're truly collaborators on this.
Yeah, so Gianna, you're a public art artist, and tell us about a couple of your other projects that that you've been working on, and also the most recent one and the one in Boston that you did.
Sure. The one in Boston was the iceberg. It floated in the Fort Point Channel, part of the Fort Point Arts Community's Floating Art series. And then just last week, I dropped off a piece in Florida. It will be part of an artificial reef down there with the Walton County Cultural Arts Alliance.
And what does that look like? Can you give us a quick description?
Sure. It's essentially it's a series of doors. It's a concrete piece because the artificial reefs are made strictly of concrete, and it's 4 doors and door jambs that I poured, and I'm sort of seeing it as a series of decisions, right? A door is a decision that you have to go through, and we're at sort of a critical point right now, deciding what we can do environmentally.
And a lot of your art has a social message to it.
Yeah.
Even Motif Zero?
Yeah. The motif number 1, just behind us over there, is sitting on the ocean, right? So Rockport and the motif itself are very aware of any change in sea level rise. And it's just another visual reminder of what's coming.
The fate of an icon hangs in the balance. And
Yes.
so we're trying to bring attention back to motif number 1 because her future is sort of uncertain, and revive an art colony. And part of iArtColony's goal is to sort of bring Boston up to Cape Ann and introduce artists to Cape Ann, sort of the special place to us. And we give everybody sort of this 3 or 4 hour tour. New York artists used to come up to sort of be rejuvenated and inspired. So that's what we're trying to do.
Beautifully
That's great.
put.
Great. Well, Gianna Stewart and Jill Whitney Armstrong, thanks for stopping by our
you for having
1623
us.
booth.
Beautiful work, John. This is awesome.
Yeah,
I look-
yeah, really
I'll
well
just
done.
say one quick thing. So
Please do.
this is the 10-inch replica of what will
Yeah.
eventually be 20 feet long.
Oh boy.
And we wanted to bring it to Art Basel this year to just sort of photobomb it. And we said to Gianna, we gave her about a week, and we said, we need like a clear carrying case, 007 lunchbox. And she made this.
Can we go live inside that when it's completed?
Yes,
Really?
absolutely.
Oh, that's-
Absolutely.
Oh, wow, that's
Yes.
awesome.
We're
There's
looking
gonna be an
forward to
entrance.
this.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thanks for stopping
Appreciate
by.
everything you're doing. This is awesome.
Thank you for everything you're doing.
And if you're here and you have a story about motif number 1, please go by the iArt Colony booth and you can sit down with Gianna and tell your story about motif number 1.
And if people want to learn more about iArt Colony, how can they do that, Jill?
They can find us at iArt Colony. We're also the only red building on Broadway across from the post office.
Easy enough, yep.
And we have this very cool art show right now called Propaganda. Artists sort of from all over the world. And Gianna is featured and Motif Zero is featured. Motif number 1 is Propaganda. So
Beautiful.
Yes, that's right. Well, thanks for coming by.
thank you so much for having
you.
us.
Thank you.
you very
Wonderful,
much.
thank you.
Have a great motif
1623.
one day.
Thank you.
We've-
Oh, boy.
Bye-bye.
We've got some other folks lined up.
Oh my
Thanks.
Maureen, this day gets better and better.
I know, really. So we gotta do the pizza first.
All right.
And then we have Kam.
And we have,
Okay.
Kam, magician and mentalist
let's
Kam
put this
Diaz.
right up
shortly.
here. Can we get that?
Oh, Copperdone, how I love
my
thee.
God, this is beautiful.
How are you?
So I'm going to take this off and interview you. So you look like you've been in some flour.
Yeah, all day.
He's stretching though.
Yeah, he's making the pizzas. It's artisan pizza. We cater to the public and private events, weddings.
Yeah, and your names are?
Nicholas.
Michael.
Great to meet you guys.
And so what's happening over at Copperdome Pizza?
It's all mobile. You know, when we cater, we don't have a shop. If you want to try a slice for yourself too,
Yeah.
it's good.
So what's the specialty? Like it's a thin crust? Like what you tell me, like what is it about the Copperdome itself? What does that do to the pizza itself?
It's thin crust. Everything's homemade. The sauce too, and yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and you guys, so you spend, is it year round where you're out doing the mobile unit and covering events? Or?
Usually seasonal. Yeah, it's always busy in the summer time, and yeah, in the fall since it's a catering business, it's very it's slow. We'll get a event one or two, but yeah, it's our signature is pepperoni, cheese, and spinach feta. That's our 3 pizzas that we sell for the public events. Yes.
So you're usually around events for around New England, right?
Yeah, we're from North Reading,
Mm-hmm.
so that's where we originated from.
Yeah.
And
the St. Anthony's feast will be there too.
Oh
great.
yeah, right.
Great. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm Sicilian, so we're usually down there for that. I am. And so you're usually here for Harvest Fest as well, right?
Yes, yeah.
So what is it about Rockport specifically that you guys love being a part of? The
Well,
events?
Rockport's always nice. It's great. Next being the water.
Can't beat the view, right?
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
real
it's
estate
nice.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good people.
Awesome.
You want to come on?
James here.
James, another part of the crew here.
You guys doing fine?
And your name is?
James,
Great. So what are you up to over there today?
putting pepperonis on the pizza.
Ah.
Yeah, and we're here all afternoon. So what exactly can people expect under the tent? Pepperoni pizza, the feta pizza,
Well, right now we just have 3 options: cheese, spinach feta, and pepperoni.
feta, yeah.
When we do private events, we have, what do we bring? Maybe 25 different toppings when we do private events.
Gotcha.
Sometimes more, upon request. So
Well, so if people
Yeah.
want to learn more about you guys, how can they do that?
go to copperdomecrust.com.
Yep.
You can also email us at copperdomecrust@gmail.com. And if you want any inquiries on events, we can give you some more information from email.
Awesome. Very
Great.
cool.
Well, thank you for stopping by. Thank you. I think, what's your name again? Nicholas wins the outfit today.
Call me Cast with a Ghost sometimes.
It's great.
Hey, cheers,
Well,
guys.
Is this for us?
Yeah, you guys.
Oh, thank you so
stop it.
much. That's awesome.
We want to thank those guys from Copper Dome Crust. Look them up right now. I'm telling you, I was here for the Harvest Fest last fall, and they were the big hit down on Tuna Wharf, and they're over here in Harvey Park again. And now we have another special guest to share with you here at Motif number 1 day. This is Kam Diaz. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you? Thank you.
Great to
so much
finally
for
meet you,
having me.
Kam.
Nice to meet
Kam.
you as well.
It's so great to see you. Do you remember me?
I do remember you.
Okay, it's good to see you.
Nice to see you as
Yeah,
well.
are you still playing soccer?
I am.
Wonderful.
Yep.
So-
Baseball and soccer.
No,
Baseball
Kam
and soccer.
is a magician and a mentalist. He's 16 years old, goes to Rockport.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Rockport
you're a
High School?
sophomore at Rockport High School?
Yep.
So Kam, tell us the deal. So how did you figure out that this was your thing?
So in 2011, so I was born and raised in Naples, Florida, and in 2011, sadly, my grandmother passed away. And her family was up here, so we came to have her funeral here. And as we drove up here, we got to Burlington and we got a flat tire. And my grandfather went to change and he ended up going into a coma for 42 days.
Hi.
And I remember the last day, they said that they couldn't do anything. They were gonna pull the plug. And I said, I gotta say something to him. And I told him, I love you, Papa. And as I walked out the door, he woke up. And I knew right there and then that magic was a real thing and that I wanted to create something powerful to share to younger generations. And that's what I've been doing.
Right. And your grandfather's such a nice guy.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, days on the soccer field talking
Yep.
to him. Tell him I said hello.
I will.
Yeah. So do you have a magic trick? Tell us about how you've evolved from that day
Yeah,
where
so,
of realizing that magic is a real thing and that you're now a mentalist and a budding magician.
Yeah, so I started with basic like coin tricks and stuff, and my idol Shin Lim, who just won America's Got Talent, I watched a lot of him and learning from it, sleight of hand and everything, and from that I've built from like basic tricks to reading people's minds, doing really cool sleight of hands, and I've been asked to perform at the Wang Theater. I got accepted
Great venue.
for America's Got Talent.
Congratulations. It's an awesome achievement.
Yes.
And yeah, so just learning from that.
Do you have anything for us?
I do.
Okay, let's see
All right.
it.
Oh.
So I always carry a deck with me because
Yeah.
a magician can never walk around without a deck. Probably.
We could probably take.
Can you put
it's hot,
Can you
it's
put
hot.
Maureen to sleep for like 5 to 10 minutes? Is that
All right. So cool fact is this deck right here is Shin Lim's deck. I got to meet him in Medford at one of his shows, and he gave me one of his decks.
Huh.
So what I'll have you do is I'll have you shuffle the cards for me.
All right. So Kam, tell us. So you said you've gotten started here. Are you performing anywhere? You're performing here today,
Yes,
right?
and then tomorrow I have a show at 1:30 at the Rockport Library till 3 o'clock. So definitely, if people want to come check that out,
People coming today, where can they find you? You're on
I'll
Mount
be
Pleasant.
performing from 12 to 1 in front of the N Gallery, and then I'll be doing Dock Square from 2 to 3.
Okay. And where is that again? Just over
N
here?
Gallery's that shop right there
Great.
across from the Harvey Park, and then they haven't told me yet we're in Dock Square, but.
Great. All right.
So you shuffle the cards, correct?
Yep.
No way I can know the sequence of every single card. So what I'll do is I'll swing, cut, catch like that, and I'll have you call stop for me whenever you want.
Okay. Stop.
All right, show everyone that card for me. I'll turn away.
Oh, you can see.
Yep, I got it.
All right, you see the card?
Yeah.
All right.
David, you get that? Matt?
All right, put it somewhere where I can't find it.
Okay.
All right, now, when I say I can mind read, I can't, go up to you right now and say what you're thinking of, but after a little bit, I could figure out what your card is by reading your mind. So I want you to think of the color for me.
Okay.
All right, and you're thinking of the color? You're thinking of black. Okay, so I want you to think of, if it's a black card, it's either a spade or a club. I want you to think of the suit for me, all right? And you're thinking of a spade. All right, and I want you to think of the card overall. Are you thinking the 3 of spades? You are?
Kam thinking
It's
of
very
this,
good.
guys.
Very good, Kam.
Come on now.
Thank you
All right.
so much.
So you're gonna give us the inside scoop on what the trick on that is?
Of course not. Magicians never reveal their secrets.
Wait, did you get mad when Penn and Teller started revealing secrets?
Yeah. I love Penn and Teller. I learned a lot of my tricks from that. Some of my tricks I self-taught myself,
Yep.
YouTube, and definitely Penn and Teller.
Yeah. So what's your favorite trick, or what's the thing that gets the most hoopla from crowds?
Probably what looks like this real quick. So it goes something like this. You see the 3 of diamonds. See, if I take the 3 of diamonds and I flip it over and I put it there and I put it to the bottom, see you snap and it hops to the top.
Oh. That was cool.
That's definitely probably the trick that people like a lot.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Thank you.
Great. So you're performing today,
Yep.
and kids must love you.
Oh yeah, I go to elementary school every Thursday and blow their minds.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's cool because like I like showing younger, like I said, younger generations that you can do anything that's possible. Like if I told you 5 years ago that I wanted to be a professional magician, I would have never thought that. But I practice about 4.5 hours a day.
No kidding.
And definitely
Great.
practice makes you better.
What are you doing on social? You go all over Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah,
whatever?
Instagram, Facebook. We have our own magic company. People can look us up at kdmagicco.com. We have our own website. So yeah, definitely social has helped us a lot.
So what, are you doing anything specific on it? Are you doing like a daily trick or sharing tips or?
Tips, as well as we have our own local events page. So if they go onto our website, they can see the local events. I also do birthday parties, any events there, so they could book us off of that as well.
When you're performing for the elementary students, can you see that they're starting to get turned on to magic and trying to?
Yeah,
follow
and it's
your
cool
shoes?
because I've had some kids that said that they've always wanted to be a magician, but they never thought they could do it, and that by seeing me perform, that it gave them hope that they could achieve something like that.
That's great, Kam.
It is.
Well, congratulations
Thank
on
you
this
so
this new career.
Yeah.
It sounds like that you're heading out.
Yep.
And you're 16 and you're a Rockport sophomore. And any magic tricks with homework or anything like that?
Yeah, so it's funny.
Can you make that disappear?
Most
Can you make that
teachers,
disappear?
yeah, I wish, but most teachers always ask me what my favorite magic trick is, and I always say getting my homework done, but yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
You gotta be
That's
charming,
great.
an element of charm. We
Yep.
like that.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being over.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
having
for stopping by. And folks, come on down and see Kam
Go see
Diaz.
Kam Diaz today.
Yeah. Rockport local, and he's performing 12 to 1 and 2 to 3.
Yep.
Right
If
down.
people want to find you or learn more about you, how can they do that?
So yeah, we have our email, kdmagicco@gmail.com, and then the website kdmagicco .com, excuse me. So those two websites.
Great,
Awesome.
Kam.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much for
Congrats,
having
man.
me.
Good meeting you.
Nice to meet you as
Good
well.
to see you.
Have a great time today.
Say hi to your grandfather for me.
Well, that was interesting.
Yeah.
What a great story.
All right, I got to put this back.
You take that back. Folks, if you're just tuning in, we're here at Motif number 1 day in downtown Rockport. You can hear all the live music and the festivities going on in Harvey Park. We're here all afternoon long. We will be with you till about noontime or so, broadcasting on Channel 12 as well as Facebook. So thanks for joining us. We hope to bring you much more live coverage of events this spring, summer, and beyond. I'm joined by my co-host, Maureen Aylward, once again. How are you, Maureen?
Good. How are you, Kory?
Great, and you can stay
Great.
tuned. We have different programming that we're going to be sharing with you shortly, including the return of Now We're Here
That's right.
at Sherry's Corner Cafe in Magnolia, then at Brothers Brew right around the corner from here in
Right.
Rockport.
We're
So,
looking forward to more live programming on 1623 Studios. But now we have the muralist that's featured
yes.
for Motif number 1 day, and she is Amanda Beard Garcia. Amanda, thanks for joining us.
Hi, Amanda.
Thanks for having me.
Just a note, just speak directly into
Okay.
the microphone so they can get you. So Amanda, we met you over at the Maker's Tent down in Dock Square, working on a mural.
Yeah.
So tell us about the kind of work that you're doing here, and then you can tell us about what you do generally.
Yeah, sure. So I'm painting a 2 foot by 5 foot freestanding mural in Dock Square, inspired by Rockport. It says Celebrate Rockport, and of course Motif number 1 is in it. And you know, I designed it myself. I'm a graphic designer, and so I'm just spending today painting, and people can come watch and, you know, chat a little.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you're a graphic designer, you said,
Yeah.
and a painter. And what do you do in your everyday life? What is your everyday work like?
So I'm a freelancer, and so I do graphic design, illustration, painting, pet portraits are a thing that I like to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
You're going to make some friends at the pet parade at 1
Oh,
o'clock.
yeah, I heard about
An
that.
extra judge, you know.
I'm
That's
so-
right.
I've done it before.
I'm so
It's a little
excited
weird.
to see it.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I always
Yeah,
pick the one in the raincoat. That's a rule of thumb when you judge dog parades.
I'm excited for it. It'll be cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm a freelancer, and I also work part-time at a marketing and design firm in Salem called Octacog. And we do branding, marketing,
Yeah, I'm
web
familiar with that.
stuff for restaurants and breweries.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, geez. I think with Octacog, I actually judged a rum drink
Oh,
contest
really?
at Mile Marker.
Oh,
through Octacog last year
awesome.
with Dan.
Yeah,
Dan and Ron,
Yep,
yeah.
I work
And
with Dan and
Ramona.
Andrew. Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm
awesome.
glad you know us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it about this event in particular that sort of sparked your interest?
Yeah, well, I heard that they were looking for muralists, like an artist, to participate. And my dad is actually from Gloucester, so I'm pretty familiar with Rockport. We used to come here a lot as kids, like on the weekend and stuff, you know, to shop, to get ice cream, that kind of stuff. So
in your artwork, do you do nautical themes at all, or?
I can. I would say this is probably the most like nautical themed type thing that I've done, but I do kind of a bunch of all kinds of things. Like I said, I love dogs and I do a lot of pets. I do a lot of lettering, and I'm getting more into murals and sign painting. So yeah, that's cool.
Cool. We should also mention too that Cape Ann Animal is here today with 3 adoptable puppies.
Oh
If you
no!
walk by, that's what everyone says that they walk by and the puppies are then gone.
Drop
They
your
all get
card
adopted
off
these
with
events.
The
Oh,
folks
yeah.
at Cape Ann Animal Aid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lovely thing to have a pet portrait, honestly. Having, I mean, I have cats, but I have lovely cats who I'd like to remember.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love, you know, it's fun doing pet portraits for people and hearing their stories about their pets and how much they love them, and you know. And actually I'm having a small show at Beverly Public Library of my pet portraits in June, if you happen to be in the area.
There's a lot of interest in things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else coming up this summer besides that?
Not really in particular, but you know, some things could pop up, and the summer is a perfect time to be painting outside and doing public art, so I'm going to keep my eyes open for more opportunities. Yeah.
And so now you're here on Dock Square today. So how long will it take you to complete this mural?
I'm hoping it'll be done by 5 p.m.
Right.
I think I'm on a good pace for now. Yeah.
Are we keeping you from it?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Really?
Yeah.
Where is it going to be? Do they have any idea of where they might put it up?
Yeah, I think they're going to keep it and maybe bring it out again for more events later in the year. Like, I think she mentioned like
For Rockport
the farmers
Exchange.
market. Yeah, Rockport Exchange. Yeah.
A lot of great events here, so
Yeah,
very cool.
Totally. Yeah.
And you picked the right day.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
beautiful.
be part of
Painting
this.
outside.
I know,
Even
yeah.
though you're under a tent.
Yeah.
So Amanda, you'll be at the tent all day working on your mural.
Yep.
What else is happening over there? I know that you've been peeking in.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of kids gathered over there. I think they're doing a dance performance.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's fun to interact with the kids.
I think there's magnetic poetry over at the tent and other kid activities. I think you can make a film.
Yeah.
Kids can make a film.
Yeah, cool.
The Scavenger Hunt is still ongoing too.
Yeah, the
People are looking
Scavenger
for
Hunt.
rocks everywhere. Yeah.
Nice.
There's a lot happening. It's a great community event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Amanda, we'll stop by to see how that mural is coming along.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Amanda
Amanda, folks.
Garcia. How can people get in touch with you if they're interested?
I'm on Instagram, Amanda Beard Garcia, and I have a website, amandabeardgarcia.com. Those are the best ways to get in touch and kind of like follow along about what I'm doing. So
Very cool.
yeah. Yeah.
Have fun today.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for
You
spending
too.
time with us, and
Yeah.
we hope to see more of your work in the future. And we won't forget, of course, of the exhibit at Beverly Public Library coming up shortly
Right,
too.
in June.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
stopping by, Amanda.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Sure.
All right, you can go see Amanda
Welcome
Garcia
by.
down here, Dock Square. She's painting a mural right now. Well, in about 5 minutes or so, once she gets back down, that we had to hijack her for a little bit.
That's right. So we can hear what time is it, Mr. Fox, in the background. If you've never seen them, they're fantastic.
Brian King and Company.
Brian King and Nathan Cohen, a
Yeah,
whole
right,
bunch of other locals as part of this group. They're a neo cabaret band, and sounds like they're doing
Aren't
some
they all?
great stuff. No, they're not.
Well, how are we doing on time, Lise? You put your watch away.
So I just wanted to mention something about Brian King.
Wow.
11:46. Great.
we're good.
So Brian King was my guest on a podcast series that I've launched. It's called Backcast Cape Ann, and I did a series of interviews with the LGBTQ community on Cape Ann, and Brian was one of my guests. Please go find it on Podbean, or you can find it on iTunes. It's called Backcast Cape Ann.
We'll have that on the 1623 Studios Facebook page
Right.
as well. You can find all of Maureen's podcasts there. And there's actually playlists too. So I think you've done a half a dozen or so already.
So there's 4. That's Wendy Fitting, Brian King, who am I forgetting? Oh, Pat Towler and Kate Noonan and Jack Vondras, who was the former public health director in the city of Gloucester. And all of them are really wonderful, just talking about what the community's been like, how it's changed over time. and just comments on what it's like to be gay on Cape Ann. And it's a great series. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, so Maureen and I are relatively new to the 1623 Studios family. So I think now would be a good time to tip our caps to those who have been here and helping us out today.
That's right.
Lisa and Becky and Matt and David are with us, and Matt is over here taking cool shots of the street.
Yeah. So we got Matt Morris and Lisa Smith, who's our producer, and Becky Tober, who's behind
Lori,
the
go over to
switcher,
Lisa
doing
here, the blonde woman.
doing the
Tuks Candy.
switcher and everything, and Matt McMakin, who's making everything happen live. So it's fantastic that we're able to do Facebook Live and be live on the broadcast stations.
Yeah, this is a great new chapter for 1623. Not only was Maureen on board and I am on board, but we want to bring you much more live programming and much more original content too, like Maureen's podcast we were just talking about. So keep your eyes peeled. Of course, there's always channel 12 and 20 and 67, but we also have a really robust social media following now too, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. So follow 1623 Studios across the board and you will see us one way or another. So we're happy to bring this event with you today, and it's been a beautiful turnout. Plenty of time if you want to come down here and participate. We have another guest here from and now enjoying their 90th year in business.
Come on in.
An institution here in Rockport. This is Lori Tuks from Tuks Candy and Gifts.
Fantastic.
How are you, Lori?
Hi, Lori.
I'm very good.
Great to see you again.
Good to be here. Good to see you
Wonderful.
too.
Yeah.
Well, Tuks is, in the memory of all little children.
Yes, it
Getting
is.
saltwater taffy stuck in your teeth for ages.
It is.
I just did a story on the Rockport Candle Company, and one of their candle scents is saltwater taffy because of
That's
Tuks.
right.
That's why I
Yes.
was in this morning grabbing some extra pictures and stuff.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So we want to get the boxes and the flavor. There's so many flavors. And first of all, we want to say
19 flavors.
19 flavors?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Congratulations on 90 years.
Thank you very much. We are very
Lori hasn't
proud.
been around for all 90 of those.
No.
So tell us a little bit about how Tuks got started, and what are you here at the candy factory, or are you up?
I am
on Main
at the
Street?
candy and gift store.
Yeah.
So the store was started in February of 1929 by twins. And actually they opened the store underneath their father's dental practice. So after the kids had their teeth cleaned, he'd walk them through the candy store and give them a
Jeez.
lollipop.
Hey, good, that's a good business sense right
That's
there.
right, that's right.
To make going to the dentist a little bit easier and
That's
sweeter.
right. Yes, yes. And the candy originally was made in the lower level of the 15 Main Street
Oh, wow.
building. And that's the original building. That's the store that's been open
Yeah.
since 29.
Wow, that's great.
Later on, as things got bigger and more, they had to move the factory off of the 15 Main Street, and they bought the Finnish Hall that was on Squam Road. And that's where the candy was made until 1994, when they moved into Dock Square.
Right.
Yep. So now it's 3 generations, and many branches have been involved in all of this business. And so with the wholesale growing as much as it did, and the gift store, which we have over 1,000 square feet of gifts.
Wow.
And so we needed to separate ownership. Nobody could do it all.
I think you actually are the largest gift shop
In Rockport.
in Rockport, at least.
We are in
and
Rock-
maybe Cape,
Cape
Ann.
Ann?
Maybe Cape Ann, I think.
We could
yeah.
be. It's big. We've tried to modernize things and
Yeah.
change the products we carry.
Well, it's a great little place to pop in when you need a card and a little gift.
Yes.
I mean, I
Yes,
certainly
thank
have
you.
done that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, bought lots of Christmas candy.
Yes, Christmas candy is so much fun.
Yeah,
and that's when you
wonderful.
want to go to the factory first and
Yeah.
see the demonstrations.
Yeah.
I know. And that's what we always want to say too. Like the locals love Tuks. And then the
Yes.
visitors come like you have to
Totally.
you have to
Love
at
the
least
Tuks.
you have to have the taffy at
Yeah.
least. And then of course, the chocolates are here too.
Chocolates and the butter crunch.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
Buttercrunch,
And
an
the
amazing
gifts and-
selection.
It's a traditional stop. Folks in Rockport, you would say, well, we got to go into Tuks.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
So Lori, let me ask, like, what do events like this mean to you and your family?
Well, when a lot of people come into town, they'll stop at Tuks, as you say. They have, and we, when it started in 29, it was a pharmacy and a candy store. So I feel like we've kept that pharmacy attitude, even though we haven't been a pharmacy since the 70s. So we're open later than most of the other businesses, and we're open year round. We close
Right.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, but otherwise we're there.
Yeah.
So a lot of people know that, and they'll come find us and see what we have.
It's great.
So these get more people falling in love with us, and we ship our candy. So we'll have information about that once holidays come around again.
Yeah. Well, Tuks is a real Rockport classic.
Yes. The other
really
thing
is.
that's fun is a lot of people had their first job at Tuks. So people
That's
of
true, too.
all ages will come in and said, I worked here when it was still an ice cream store, which they was for a period of time, or this was my first job. And the big question I was trying to find is somebody who went to Dr. Tuck as their dentist. And I found a woman about 4 months ago who was a patient of Dr. Tuck's.
That's impressive.
So that was fun.
Yeah, she has all of her teeth still, or did the doctor take care of that?
I didn't think to ask that.
Well, Lori, thanks for joining us
you're
today.
welcome. Thank you for having me.
If people want to learn more about Tuks Candy and Gifts, how can they do that?
The best thing, our website is mostly for ordering candy, www.tukscandy.com. But we have a Facebook presence, which is Tuks Candy and Gifts. And we try hard to keep that more current. But we do keep our hours posted on that as they change.
We just come right down into Gloucester.
In Rockport.
Yeah. I mean Rockport, and drive.
Motif number 1 day, Maureen. She lives here.
I love Tuks.
Well, you have to go through Gloucester to get to Rockport.
I know.
So you go by copter or boat, which you can also do here in Rockport too.
No, you can't.
Not
you can't
by
fly
copter.
No
copters.
No. Medical
No copters.
emergencies will make an exception.
Any chocolate?
Lori, thanks for being
Oh, you're
on.
welcome. Thank you for
Lori,
having
so much.
me. Have a
90 years,
wonderful
Tuks
day.
Candy and
90
Gifts.
years.
Congratulations.
90 years
Thank
strong.
you. Yes, thank you.
Take care.
Bye, Lori. Unbelievable. All right, so should we put a bow on this?
Well,
please?
I had to have one mistake.
Yeah.
I had to have one mistake at the whole show.
So that was yeah, we should probably walk away from there. But anyway, so this was a fun time, right?
It was great fun covering Motif number 1 day with you, Kory.
Yeah, and we'll see what is next for 1623. I think we're going to do, now we're here at Sherry's Corner Cafe on Lexington Avenue in Magnolia shortly, and then Brothers Brew. But, of course, summer's about to kick in. There's going to be tons of live events around. Hopefully we can share those experiences with you from the comfort of your screen, whether you're with us presently or not. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And so I think that's about it.
Yeah, text us to join our newsletter, and the texting number is?
Is that 42828? You have to text studios, 42828 if you want to sign up for our newsletter. If you want to consult on doing video work with us, you can just call us at the station at 1623 Studios. It's the former Cape Ann TV. But in the meantime, you can just absorb all the things we're throwing your way on social media and on the local cable channels. And hopefully we're bringing you much more of what you want in the future.
Come on down to Motif number 1 day and have a great time. It's a wonderful event, and it's a beautiful day.
There you go. Thanks, Maureen.
Thanks, Kory.
See you soon. All right,
See
bye, folks. Thanks for
everybody.
joining us. We'll see you shortly.